what's going on, guys? One more day of those old intro jams. Like I said, I'm giving my hand one more day of rest because if you haven't watched the other videos, I hurt my hand and I'm just kind of like taking it easy, not doing any tracking right now. But today we're gonna talk about basically just that. And the title of the video is "Don't Be Dumb Like Me." I'm gonna explain exactly what I'm talking about, and I do have a couple of examples of things to practice. Basically, we're talking about whenever you hurt your hand. Like I hurt my hand. And I want to give you guys some tips to avoid some things that I did wrong, and just some exercises that you can do while your hand is hurt, and just some general tips. So if you want the tabs for it, that stuff is linked down below in the description. And before we get going again, I'm going to mention one more time, if you would, hit the subscribe button. But if you are normally subscribed, check and make sure you still are. Look at the comments in the last video. A bunch of people said that, like, you know, they never hit unsubscribe. YouTube is doing this for some reason. It's driving us all crazy. So if you want to subscribe and hang out, that'd be totally great. But other than that, let's get going with the lesson. Alright, so let's get talking about this. So like I said, recently I hurt my hand. And how I hurt my hand, at least the best of my knowledge, was trying to play a chord. It was a really big, stretched out chord. I'm not going to try to play it because, like I said, I'm still taking it easy on my hands. And I just felt something in my hand, like, you know, like a little twing or something. I don't know how to describe it. And it hurt. And I did this, you know, 4 or 5 days ago. And instead of being smart and acknowledging that I was playing something, I just kept playing it because I was tracking guitars. I was trying to record it for something, and I just kept doing it. And the next day I woke up and my hand was a little bit more sore, and I'm like, I still got more stuff to do. So I kept tracking it, kept playing these, you know, big chords, and then sure enough, around Wednesday, you can watch Wednesday's video, around Tuesday, my hand was really hurting. Like, I was like, whoa, like, and I couldn't really stretch my hand out very far without like just a real sharp, like piercing pain would go through my hand. And I was like, okay, I need to, like, not be dumb. You know, you don't need to be a tough guy. If your hand is hurt, take my advice, because I'm 100% doing this from now on. First thing is, make sure you're stretching, because I remember when I hurt my hand, I didn't warm up. I just ran up here real quick. I had an idea and I was trying to play, but just make the time to warm up. I'm telling you, it's so crucial. All those boring chromatic things that you learn, sit there, do them at least 5 minutes. You know, because one thing I've noticed that as my hands they're getting older. You know, like, that's just the fact of the matter. That I'm 30 now, and I'm like, you know, think about it, there's 15 years of wear on my hands, and I need to, like, you know, acknowledge that I need to start warming up and get my hands ready to go. So it's incredibly serious. Please, like don't ignore it. You know, I inherited the wonderful gift of being super hard-headed, like my dad. So sometimes whenever I'm hurt or whatever it is, I just kind of like, yeah, whatever. You know, you tough it out. But I think with your hands, don't mess with it. You know, like I said, I've learned this past week. It was very evident. I was like, you know, I need to be careful about this stuff. Like, it's, you know, being tough and hard-headed has nothing to do with it. Take care of your hands. And I'm always really good at taking care of my hands. I should say, usually. It's just I had a lot of stuff to do. I've been working on a new course, all that stuff. I was just trying to kind of like bulldoze through it, and I shouldn't have. And it's like I said, it's an important lesson learned. So make sure you take time. Give your hands plenty of time to rest if you do hurt them, and you know, just like I said, don't be a dummy like me. Now, after I realized how dumb I was, of course, I started thinking, like, well, how can I still play? Because stretching was my issue. Obviously, there's lots of different hand issues, hand injuries that can happen, and mine was based around these bigger stretches. I'm still avoiding them. You know, this is about as far as I'll stretch my hands right now. You know, like that major scale stretch. So I started thinking, I was like, well, what are some good exercises that I could still practice that didn't involve me stretching my hand out very much? Well, the first thing I did was I actually switched guitars. I'm playing the SKYPE now, but I played my 335, which is a shorter scale. It's 24 and a half, versus a normal, even Les Paul is 24 and 3/4, and of course a Fender is 25 and a half. So I played a shorter scalar guitar, new words, and I played up high. I just practiced up here. So, you know, the whole time, because then I could still do all my same exercises, but my fingers were much closer together. So the first little example here I have for you is just this idea, which I would practice down here. I'm going to do it slow because I don't want to stretch too much. Okay, I would practice something like that down here. I was like, well, all right, we'll move it up here. So what I'm doing here is I'm just playing 15 to 17 on the B, 15, 17, 19 on the high A string. That's pointer, middle, pinky for me. Okay? Back to 17, back to 15, back to 17 on the B. As usual, I'm going to turn my volume down a little bit now. I'm realizing how loud it possibly is. And I would just sit there and practice that. You know, that's a really good alternate picking exercise. Maybe move it through your scale. Maybe I wouldn't venture past the 10th fret, because then, like I said, now I'm starting to stretch my hand out a little bit more. And I'm like, no, stay up here. So maybe from 10th fret up to 20, 21, 22, how many frets you got. Focus on that. That's a really good... That's a really good one to practice. Like I said, it's just a fun alternate picking exercise. And, you know, a really good thing to do is, if your left hand is hurt, put more of the load on your right hand. Notice I'm not doing any hammer-ons. I'm not doing any legato stuff. It's all picking. I'm putting more of the workload on my right hand. Alright, now I can't remember exactly how I had this in the tabs, which one I did second, but I'm going to give you this one next. And this is a hybrid picking one. So like I said, we're focusing on our right hand now, and this is just a little, almost like a Neil Sean, however you want to pronounce his last name. Little pattern I discovered not that long ago, actually, and I have it in one of my new courses that I do more than this with it, but I really like it, and it's a good exercise for all 4 fingers. So what I'm playing here is it's all E minor pentatonic, just like the first one. Everything I'm getting ready to play you is all E minor pentatonic. I'm going to play 17 on the B string with my pinky, and then let me pick it once, and I'll show you the hybrid picking version of it. And then I'm going to go 16 on the G, 15 on the B, 14 on the G. So you notice I used all 4 fingers: pinky, ring, middle, pointer. Pinky, ring, pointer, middle. Now you can alternate pick it if you want to. I noticed that when I alternate pick it, I start with an up. I go up, down, up, down. It's kind of like outside picking. Now what I want to actually use this exercise for is hybrid picking. So we're going to go... So basically all the notes you played on the B string would be plucked with your middle finger, and all the notes on the G would be picked down with your pick. So it goes pluck, pick, pluck, pick. And in the tabs, I shift it down. Now what's cool is the shape stays exactly the same, but I introduced a new note here. Basically this is kind of more like out of your E minor scale or E Aeolian. But it's still basically, it's all E minor. So it's going to go 15 on the B to 14 on the G, 13 on the B to 12 on the G. And there you have it. Okay? Oh, maybe. Again, I'm putting all the workload on my right hand. I'm letting it take over, and I'm trying to fret very lightly. If anything, this is giving me a lot of more like touch sensitivity on the guitar, because I'm making sure I'm not trying to choke the neck out or anything like that. Take it easy, just, and I'm trying to get a lot of like finesse whenever I'm playing with my left hand. It's very light. I'm letting my right hand do the work, like I said. All right, now the third thing I want to show you that you could also work on, again, this is picking oriented. This is economy picking. And you can go however you want with it. And what I chose to do is I chose to do it this way, which incorporates more of an up pick. It's kind of like my weak area is doing the double ups in a row. I can do downs really well, probably because that's how I slant my pick. But what I chose to do is a weakness, and that is going to go 10 to 12 on the high string. So I'm picking down, up, and I go to 12 on the B. So I have to roll my finger for this. Okay? But also my pick has to go down, up, up. Now the secret to this is that you don't treat it like 2 upstrokes together. It's basically your hand is doing 2 movements, not 3, even though we're playing 3 notes. Watch, I go down, up. There's really no like second movement here. I just let my hand fall through the strings. I guess like rake through the strings here. So I'm going down, up. Even though technically there's 2 ups in a row, it's one motion out of my hand. Okay, I shift up, I'm gonna go 12, 15 on the high E string, and then 15 on the B. Again, I'm rolling my finger and pulling that pick through the strings. I don't go like this. See how there's like 2 noticeable movements there? Don't do that, it's one motion. Okay, shift up again, I'm gonna go 15 to 17 on the high E string, and then 17 on the B. My fingers barely fit up here. Okay, so even like look at how I'm adding a lot of palm muting. You know, like I said, I'm letting more of the dynamics fall on my right hand than I typically would. You know, maybe if I was my left hand was at 100%. I might be sliding around or trying to throw some bending or big stretches, all that kind of stuff in there to add a little bit more flavor to it. But I'm letting my left hand chill, and my right hand I'm like, okay, well, maybe practice muting these. You know, whatever it is. I'm just, like I said, I'm letting my left hand rest. So there you guys have it. Like I said before, make sure you warm up, make sure you stretch your hand out. There's nothing wrong with it. Just take your time, make sure that you don't hurt your hand. And if you do hurt your hand, just like I did, make sure that you just are aware and you acknowledge the signs that your hand is hurt, and you don't have to stop playing, but just try to figure out what is exactly hurting your hand and avoid that for a little bit. Like I said, move to a shorter scale length guitar. Another thing I found that helped is once I got done playing my 335 a bunch, my Friedman Telly, which is behind me, was really, really nice because of how C-shaped the neck is. It was really comfortable and it didn't hurt my hand as much as some of the, like my Les Paul necks did not feel comfortable at all for me to play, so I didn't play those guys. I stuck to the 335. Other than that, guys, I'm gonna bounce out of here, get those tabs, like I said before. Hopefully none of you guys ever hurt your hand. My hand is doing much better now. Like I feel like I could probably play normal stuff. I'm just giving it an extra day because of the live stream and stuff tomorrow. So other than that, I'm gonna see you all later. Have a great rest of your Friday. Yo, Fender Friday, right? Had to get the Esquire out. Later, homies. Whoop! How about some rhythm? How about a little bit of a little bluesy boogie?